Hello, 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 hello. I was a bit sad on the thought that I've only done one episode on this whole event. One episode which only touched upon two parts of the story, which is basically the prologue, and I'm quite sad about that. So I decided I'm gonna do a bit more of this. I'm gonna do a bit more. I don't think I'll be able to do the whole entire story, the whole entire event, but we're gonna go through it. We're gonna go through it. Part 3, The Place That Time Forgot. We're going into the prison. No, the asylum. Kamala Prison Perimeter. Ooh. The grey riverbed winds through the frostbitten earth, disappearing into the distant horizon. A neat yet dilapidated circular complex stands alone beneath the snow-capped mountains, as if abandoned by God, humanity, and ghosts alike. Outside the fence, 3 uninvited guests discuss their plans to get inside.
Behold, Komala Prison. It's the biggest building around. When the sun comes out, it looks like a rusty button stitched into the earth. Everyone tries not to pay attention to it, but it's undoubtedly one of the most important places in town. This way. Careful. We're heading uphill. Oops!
The young writer begins to slip again. She's prevented only by Sonetto's quick reflexes.
Thanks. So, my new friends, you're from that St. Palominos?
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
St. Pavlov Foundation. And Vertin is the timekeeper there.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, very impressive. Sounds all official and polished. Then, I take it you've already got away into the prison?
The gate presents an unwelcoming face to the world.
I'll draft a letter to headquarters right away. Once they approve it, they'll notify the local branch in Buenos Aires. From there, they'll need to inform the Argentine government.
Which takes a lot of time. We don't have that
Who
time.
will then issue us a permit.
Excellent. Looks like our bureaucrats still have some worth. No offense intended, of course.
Since we're pressed for time, I believe we can ask that headquarters give high priority to our request. If all goes well, we should have the permit in about a month.
Exactly, we don't have the time.
Ah, how expedient of them. But you know what? Maybe we shouldn't bother all those hard-working government officials with these trifling matters after all.
She instantly returns to her previous judgment.
I have a simpler solution that suits the urgency of our cause.
That sounds great. Oh, where are you going, Miss Recoleta?
Before anyone can stop her, the young writer hurls herself up to the wall, scaling the side with a sort of skill that immediately suggests she's done this before.
To the other side of the wall, of course. From Guadalajara to Ushuaia. There has yet to be a wall that could stop me. Come on, ladies of the Foundation. Sonetto, take my hand.
Sonetto looks utterly flustered.
Miss Recoleta, please. A reckless act like that could have serious consequences. Please come back down. In fact, while the details of our mission are classified, I should warn you it may be dangerous, and we cannot guarantee your safety once we're inside. Perhaps it's in your best interest to return to town.
What? That is definitely not in my best interest. What sort of pusillanimous coward would I be if I just abandoned my fated companions here? Of course I'm going in with you. Or rather, you're coming with me.
Please get down, Miss Recoleta. Someone's coming our way.
Oh shit. From the other side of the prison fence, a predator's gaze looks onto the figure perched on the wall.
Stop right there. What do you think you're doing?
Oh.
Caramba, it's her again. The jailer of Komala.
Did she say jailer or jaguar?
Jailer. She said jailer very, very clearly. Oh. For battle time, okay. Yeah. We're just gonna go with our normal team up.
Woman, get moving!
Oh, she's a jaguar. Oh shit. My bad, girl.
Nice tactic.
What should I sing? Don't let go. Then I found you. So untamed, so free.
So that's your idea.
To be yours alone.
Break it, break it. That's right. Nice tactic.
What should I sing?
There we go. Our normal team never fails us.
The show is over, but the loneliness persists.
We are doing gacha after this, by the way. We are doing gacha.
Miss Recoleta, haven't I made myself clear? I don't want to see you here again.
She's a jaguar. I love her.
Jailer, we meet again. What a delightful encounter on such
A sudden gust of cold wind interrupts her.
lovely day.
Would you please just leave this place alone? I'll never understand why a promising young woman like you keeps snooping around a prison. I can't make this any clearer. Trying to break into Kamala will do nothing to get you inside, but it will get you into a world of trouble with the Gendarmeria.
She's a very, very pretty big cat, I must say.
So, will you stop these senseless breaking attempts? Kamala Prison is only accessible to academic researchers and journalists. And even they must have official credentials in order to enter.
Isn't there any other way to pay a visit? I truly do need to get in there.
She racks her brain for a plausible excuse.
Sorry to interrupt, but did you just say official credentials?
Yes, you heard me right. And you are?
I'm the timekeeper of the St. Pavlov Foundation. My assistant and I are here to visit Kamala Prison on official orders from the Foundation. Here, this is my ID.
Snape's like, but the official way that we can enter. But all those documents I could write up. That letter. At the thought of lying, Sonetto's lips fail to open for even a squeak. She goes flushed red with embarrassment. Through the prison fence, the jailer examines the pair. She takes the ID in her sizable paws. Oh, that's our ID. God dang. Burton. It is at least a very presentable looking card, boldly stamped with the seal of the St. Pavlov Foundation.
This is indeed legitimate.
She murmurs.
Welcome to Kamala Prison. Apologies for my earlier behavior. It's been a while since we've had any official visitors.
No problem. No problem, girlie. We just want to see what the prison's like. To be continued. Yay! 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 So I've been looking. So there's this specific channel on YouTube that plays, which main focus is Reverse 1999, and they do like playlist of all the events and all the chapters, everything. They do playlists of all those. I looked at the the playlist for this, and excuse me, why is one certain part 30 minutes for them? The fuck? I'm not sure, probably differences with stuff. Hopefully that part doesn't take too long. The goal, ideally, I want to get to part 10, ideally, in this video. But if the parts are really this long, I'm not that confident in myself. I'm not that confident in myself, in my timing. But we'll see. We'll keep going forward. Part 4. Kamala's Callers. Kamala's Callers. Oh, hello.
Día tras día, La investigadora de paracausalidad se escondía en la naturaleza fuera del pueblo de Amalfitano. Una tarde, al anochecer, una voz llamó desde fuera de su cueva. Ella dejó el equipo y las cintas y salió afuera. Un hombre estaba de pie, curioso, frente a su puerta. ¿Qué haces aquí?, preguntó, levantando ambas cejas. Nada sucede en Amalfitano en estos días. El local se presentó como el empleado del banco.
Bangkok.
Probablemente tenía la cara más amable del lugar. Ojos brillantes,
Soft jawline,
mejillas
bright eyes,
levantadas,
lofted cheeks.
una mandíbula suave.
Face
Era
blooming
una
with
cara
cocoa
llena de
puffs.
esperanza. La investigadora le mostró los espectros que había estado recopilando. He estado recolectando historias sobre el dado, explicó. Quizás ellos contienen la clave para explicar la aleatoriedad que muestra el destino. Ah, eso realmente me intriga, respondió rápidamente el empleado del banco. Me encantaría escuchar todo sobre eso, pero debo irme. No debo llegar tarde al funeral del pescador de dunas.
What is
Y
the
con
story?
eso se fue. 3 días después, los mismos pasos regresaron a su cueva.
Okay, she's in a cave and
Volviste.
she's researching death.
¿Cómo has estado? ¿Lograste llegar al funeral?, preguntó.
Okay.
No tengo idea de lo que estás hablando, respondió de manera cortante. No soy el hombre que crees que soy. Su rostro estaba agotado y demacrado, sus ojos hundidos profundamente en huecos vacíos. Era como si toda chispa de vida le hubiera sido arrancada, dejándolo solo con una cáscara vacía. La investigadora insistió que no se había equivocado. Conozco a las personas por su naturaleza más profunda, hasta la sincronización de sus espectros. Nunca me he equivocado antes. Lo que tú digas, el hombre murmuró de manera áspera. No entiendo nada de tus ideas tan elevadas. Solo déjame ir. Ha sido un largo día de pesca y lo único que quiero ahora es desplomarme en mi cama tambaleante. Se alejó con pasos que sonaban exactamente como los del empleado del banco.
What's the story you're trying to tell? I'm very like, okay. Oh.
As you might have noticed, Miss Burton, this facility isn't just a prison. It's also a research center.
Oh. The movement of the camera, I like that.
Its full name is the Panopticon of Comala. It was established by the Foucault Association in 1975. We've hosted workshops, academic sessions, and even lectures about the Panopticon. You may even have seen some reports about it. Experts of psychoanalysis and scholars from various fields have come here to exchange ideas and seek collaboration in their studies. In many ways, the Panopticon is unlike any other prison you've seen before.
I see. No wonder Miss Recoleta has gone to such lengths to become a part of it. Actually, my assistant and I are here to inquire about a prisoner named Doris. Does that name sound familiar?
Oh yeah, we're just wondering what Doris is. Corridor, Comala prison.
Not that I recall. Could she have used a different name? What does she look like?
I noticed this when I saw the trailers, but back rooms. No, there's a specific backroom game that this sort of like area reminds me of. It's not titled The Backrooms, it's titled something else. But it's basically based on the Backrooms. Basically. And I can't remember what the game is called at this very moment. But this sort of like background behind her reminds me of like one section in the game.
She'd have arrived here about 3 days ago. It's also possible that she came as a visitor, not a prisoner. She's a blind woman who always carries an old typewriter. She used to be a doctor at the Sao Paulo Veterans Residence in Brazil. And on the subject of different names, she once wrote for Atu under the name Erd.
I don't think I've seen anyone fit in that description. And as I said, we haven't had any visitors in some time. Certainly not in the last 3 days.
But I did see her. I saw her walking towards Comala prison.
Someone must have mixed up their memories. Simply put, I don't recall seeing anyone by that name or with that description here.
She could have secretly sneaked in. Caused some havoc, maybe?
I see. Thank you, miss. Perhaps we made a mistake.
Sensing that her current line of questioning is going nowhere, she shifts towards a different topic.
Miss Recoleta, you've gone to great lengths to get into the Panopticon. Would you mind telling us why?
Finally! I've been waiting for you to ask.
Oh.
I'm here to find my pen pal in Comala.
You have a pen pal? In here?
Yes. 6 months ago, I went to a book exhibition in Guadalajara and came across the contact details of a few writers. I sent them my novel and asked for feedback. Looking back, it was a bit forward, but nothing unheard of between writers. A lot of friendships start through letters, you see, and Aleph wrote back.
Aleph! The character I care about in this story. Oh. Recoleta produces a thick stack of letters from her coat. The recipient's address changed with each letter, reflecting the turbulent lifestyle of the wandering writer, yet the sender's address is eternally constant, Comela.
And how much do you know about this pen pal of yours?
Oh, well, he calls himself Aleph, which is a grammatically masculine word, so...
So you assume Aleph is a man?
A reasonable suspicion, but in her experience, never a certainty.
Yes, he's probably a poet, a writer, perhaps even an alchemist. He's one of the brightest people I know. There's never been a question that he couldn't answer. I've asked him about religion, politics, history, potions, even critters in length and breadth. Can you imagine someone who knows all those things and so extensively too? And he helped me with my novel. He always seems to know the best ways to bring my characters to life. Honestly, he's so insightful. I've begun wondering if he's omniscient. With his help, my story grew richer and fuller, like a well-tended plant. Strangely, can't seem to take it any further now. It's as if the roots have been sapped of their strength. I couldn't understand why. So, I resolved that I would see him in person to find out.
Again with this story about your uncanny pen pal. I've already told you 1,000 times. It's all very moving, but it still doesn't justify your actions. Writers experience mental blocks all the time, yet you don't see them trying to break into a prison over it.
She does have a point.
Please, Burden, jailer, have a little mercy, will you?
Hold on. I've been meaning to ask. Why are you only calling her jailer? Don't you know her name? Or do you just prefer addressing people by their occupation?
Oh, about that.
Unexpectedly, it's the Jaguar herself that speaks up.
It's okay, Miss Verton. I don't mind being called by my job title. I take pride in what I do. I'm perfectly fine with just being the jailer.
Exactly. A researcher is a researcher, and a jailer is a jailer. Titles and code names often tell us more about people than their ordinary given names, don't you think? Take Sonetto, for example. Your name comes from sonnets, doesn't it? That great poetic form from Italy. Some people mistakenly think Shakespeare invented it. Some say it was Petrarca, though no one really knows when the first sonnet was written. Sorry, I'm straying from my point. You're Italian, aren't you, Sonetto? Is that your real name, or just a code name? Were your parents poets?
As much as I'd like to be able to answer your question, I never knew my parents.
Yeah. She was born and raised in the Pablo Foundation.
My earliest memories were of the School of Primary Defense of Mankind.
See?
I've lived there since I was a small child.
See? I told you.
My apologies. That was thoughtless of me.
It's fine. You meant no ill intent, I'm sure.
Snetto's such a pretty name, though.
Timekeeper, if Miss Recoleta was right about Dr. Doris's whereabouts, perhaps the jailer is keeping things from us. Or perhaps Dr. Doris visited the Panopticon without her knowledge. Either way, we need to do some digging here.
No, I trust the jailer. If she didn't see anyone, she didn't see anyone. But people might have come in without her knowledge, I agree.
I agree. Let's see if we can talk to some of the inmates and find out what they know.
Oh, we're getting closer into the prison. As they chat, the corridors, until now endless, reach a terminal point, with voices echoing around.
We're about to enter the main hall of the Panopticon.
Okay.
This is one of the places where the inmates spend their recreation time. At this hour, they are supposed to be in their cells. But what's all that noise?
The jailer seems to be tense with the apparently unusual amount of noise.
Miss Verton, could you keep an eye on Recoleta if anything happens?
Yes, ma'am. Recoleta tries her best to avoid the hard stare of the feline jailer by blending into the Foundation team.
Certainly. What do you take me for? I'm not going to run away. That'd be a pretty cheesy way to start a story.
Let her do her job.
Please, just stay close to me.
Yes, ma'am. TV continued. Is the one you truly need? Ah, so these are the pen pal matter. Finally, I still wish you the best on your creative path. Interesting. Darkness has no form. The ever-shifting gaze seeps into every crevice. Enter the darkness. Huh? This is a minigame? I'm connecting. Oh. Oh, looks like we got a new Horayo. It's pitch black in here. Can't be sure she's new just yet. Hey there, welcome to La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas. Or maybe she's one of those who broke out, came back of her own accord. Keeping quiet, huh? Like, yeah, this must be a sacred moment for you. A return to the darkness. Oh, shit. This is Cardo, yeah.
La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas?
Doris, you fucker! You mad lady! The texture she felt on her way here do not match the words she just heard. Guided by her keen hearing, she pauses mid-step in what seems to be a reasonably open space. The room falls into silence like the longest minute in human history. Are you still there? A faint cough, a heave of sigh in the darkness. Pardon me, but have we met before? This is my first time in this prison, as far as I can recall. What a strange thing to say. Prison. When was the last time we heard someone say that? Back when the narrator was published? Wait, you aren't some ancient ghost here in pursuit of realism, are you? There's a theatrical flair in her voice. Rusty gates, pitch black cells, prison. Bars for exchanging letters, a peaceful and secluded place, Sociedad de Poetas. And no, we don't know you. The three of them are spaced just far enough apart to barely make out each other's faces in the dark. What a wonderful example, Garcia. Exactly. It all depends on how you choose to see the world, my new friend. Oh, she's in a straitjacket. Oh. Roberta, we don't have much time. This might be the most important gathering of the month. No, maybe even for the year. You're right, Garcia. At this moment, nothing is more important than the salon the idealist has so carefully prepared. You should focus on sorting out those manuscripts first.
Pardon the interruption, but might I ask?
Why your organization is called the Sociedad Hipotes de las Americas? I'm sorry if I say things wrong. I'm sorry. I assume it isn't simply due to geography. Don't worry, senor. We make it to a point to introduce our Sociedad to every new friend. But now isn't quite the time. After the salon ends, we'll ask the jailer about your accommodations. Wait a minute. Roberta, your eyes are well adjusted to the dark. Use them. She's neither a newcomer nor a returnee. She's a blind woman. Ah, please forgive Garcia's rudeness, senor. A sensory limitation can sometimes bring sharper intuition. In that colorful world of the mind, I'm sure what you see is even more beautiful than reality. But if you weren't brought in by physicians, then why are you here? ... She tries to construct a fiction in her mind, something that could justify the surreal nature of her arrival. From the humid trade winds of Sao Paulo to the crashing surf on the cliffs, another strange land greets me for the first time with nothing but cold silence. Miss Erd is to be placed in Ushia's Komala prison. She is not to be treated as an ordinary inmate. In the words of the preacher, you are our honored guest, Miss Erd.
I've come to learn the name of this land. Ushuaia.
From that young lady's retelling, it lies at the southernmost tip of the vast continent of South America.
As we walked, I could feel her gaze upon me. Steady, yet never intrusive.
I could tell she meant me no harm. I don't know why the voice acting is breaking up halfway through the sentence. Halfway through their line. I don't know why that's it. I informed the administrator of Komala prison of your identity and special circumstances. He'll ensure your safety. Good luck and farewell.
I sensed I had been brought to a place most unusual. A building with a quiet peculiarity in the air.
Two attendants followed close behind me, some form of liquid dripping from their faces.
I suppose I must claim a little freedom for myself in this place.
I thought the darkness was a blessing. It wasn't too difficult to shake them off.
I'm sorry for your undue trouble, my diligent friends.
I'm a writer, and I mostly write under the name Erd. I'm here for a short visit.
I'm here for a short visit, hoping to find some inspiration for my next story.
See, Garcia, this lady is a writer, a good soul. You almost made us miss out on meeting a kindred spirit. Come, I'm sure you'll fall in love with our salon. This has nothing to do with me. It's dark in here, but I suppose you've already grown used to walking in the dark. Sorry, I mean no offense. Oh, we saw him in light for a moment. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting thing they're doing. Part 5. A Latin American Fable. Oh, I'm getting comfy. It is quite warm at the moment in the UK, so I'm not that comfy at the moment, unfortunately. Oh.
I didn't expect any of this from what we saw outside.
I'm gonna have a quick swig of my drink real quick. The mottled yet pristine walls, the still waters, the silent white towers standing within the labyrinth. Nearby, several prisoners from a circle, some standing, some sitting, engage in conversation.
Oh, excuse me for a moment. I have duties that I must attend to.
With a sigh, the jailer steps into the gathering, causing a strangely subdued reaction from the prisoners.
They don't seem intimidated by her at all.
Yeah. They just look like a bunch of artists having a chat in the garden. And the jailer seems to be like a grumpy neighbor coming over to ask them to keep it down.
The grumpy neighbor continues her chastising.
Everyone, you know the rules. There are to be no after-hours gatherings here without the physician's approval.
You sound softer and softer each time you come to warn us. Why not just join us? Isn't it better than circling around the Panopticon all day? And look around you. We're in the Hall of New Encounters. What better place to host a salon?
You're missing out in Comala if you don't even get a taste of our literature.
Exactly. Even those oil-dripping musicians drop by from time to time. Not that they're the kind to care about the beauty of words.
Oil-dripping musicians? Timekeeper, could they mean...
Before the jailer can say anything else, two of the prisoners simultaneously gesture for her to stay silent, pointing to the center of their gathering.
Quiet now, please. The Edile's salon is about to start.
Oh. She's given up.
These people seem friendly enough. Why don't we see what this is about?
I agree. Let's see what this is about, guys. Ooh, hello.
En desiertos, en estrellas, dentro de laberintos.
En aguas, en espejos, dentro de reflejos.
Soñamos sobre la almohada de paja de la muerte.
Aquí estamos, rendiendo homenaje a los fantasmas.
Para rendirlo todo otra vez.
Para rendirlo todo otra vez.
My dear friends, we face a difficult truth. The movement of visceral realism still stumbles in the dark. Our poems, our language, our minds are tangled by a stifling vine. A mundane, stale vision shared among all bourgeoisie. We follow this vision blindly, clinging to the comfort brought by logic and conventional wisdom. And by it, we nip every branch of new art in the bud. Poems are perhaps too fragile an outgrowth to develop one's life upon. But here, we may light them like candles at our funerals. Let poetry become the bridge between us and the world.
A lone clap breaks the silence. It comes earlier than all the other cheers from the audience.
As we come back and forth over the boundaries of life and death, the old obstacles begin to take on a new look. With the eyes of poets, we may see behind them.
Of course, Reculata understands.
You're a visceral realist. I can't be mistaken. You must be...
The idealist's eyes pierce through the grove of literary enthusiasts, reaching a distant, drifting new world.
A lonely cowboy, finally home.
Ooh. Ooh, your design, baby. Ooh.
What a wonder. You're in time. The salon has just begun. And La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas isn't like those salons that care more about who's invited than the art. All are welcome here.
I don't like how his arms move. I don't like that. I don't like that. That just
A
took me
literary
out.
salon in a prison? Though, so far it seems to have more dancing than poems.
Did you understand what that man just said?
No, sorry, Timekeeper. I need a moment to think it through.
Don't worry, Sonato. I would guess we're not the only ones who are confused here. Miss Jailer, is this that peculiarity about Kamala you mentioned earlier?
Enough, idealist. You're still an inmate here, and you are walking a very fine line right now.
Oh, I'm quite aware of where I am and what lines I tread. This is a prison. The
Oh, I hate
safest
it.
place for poets in this part of the continent.
I don't know why
One
it
cannot
freaks
be
me out.
arrested twice, after all.
I think it's just like the long limbs filling up most of the screen that just like kind of freaks me out a tiny bit. The man's words draw laughter from the other prisoners as they turn to discuss the speech with excitement.
But please, don't trouble yourself with our little farce. What harm could a few poets possibly do?
Actually, a lot, to be honest. A riot is a likely answer. All the irregular rhymes and wild contradictions of aesthetics converge into chaotic countercurrent, crashing against the newcomers. Recoleta clenches her fist in shock, certain that the man before her is her mysterious pen pal.
Senor Idealist, might I ask you something?
Hold on, Recoleta. All forms of communication with the inmates must conform to our regulations. We will need to record the conversation and submit it to higher authorities for review.
I have some questions for the gentleman as well. But we're more than willing to follow the rules. I think the person I'm looking for might have attended this literary salon. Or at least talked to some of its members. I'd wager she's spoken to that gentleman. That is, if she has been here at all.
I see. Go ahead then. Just watch the time.
As the visitors petition the jailer, Recoleta pushes past the bustling crowd and takes a deep breath.
Are you Aleph?
The noisy atmosphere plunges into silence, just like the still waters nearby. The idealist is evidently taken aback by the name.
Oh, another visitor looking for Olive.
So you know him?
Naturally, but I'm not obliged to speak of him to one who does not, stranger.
The salon host is non-committal, turning towards Recoleta's companions.
And you, young lady in the hat, are you here for Olive as well? What a lively day this is.
No, I'm looking for a blind woman. Her name is Doris.
Ah, yes, I remember. Her writing was impeccable, like an exquisite crocodile skin handbag in a shop window. Elegant, yet condescending.
Do you know where she is now?
I'm not able to keep track of every inmate here, miss. Perhaps you should ask those who have seen everything from above, through the glass, where the scrutinizing eyes of power look down on us.
Eyes?
Well, yeah, they have to be viewed 24/7. There's probably cameras everywhere, maybe a place where the jailers and other people who look after a prison looks upon them. Pretty normal protocol, I'm gonna be honest here. She scans the prison hall. The walls, the great tower, the pool remains untouched. Nothing appears amiss. All the prisoners present nod in agreement, prompting a weary sigh from the jailer.
Have you taken your medicine today, idealist?
I'm feeling marvelous. Today I require no help from them.
I just want to see something.
I've warned you. It's unwise to act against the physician's orders.
Act against
Going
him?
back on my stream.
No one may act against him here.
I'm trying to understand his outfit, okay?
The physician must have misunderstood us. I suspect he doesn't understand half of what we say. I'd like to know how he got his medical degree. Not by cracking open skulls, I should hope.
The prisoners exchange smiles.
What a pity, jailer. You know, I've always believed you had the soul of a poet, just like us. We've already spoken enough rebellious thoughts outside of Komala. How else do you think we ended up in your nut house?
Oh, the glitching on the word nut house.
We've been here far too long. Long after the junta was removed from office. After our home became a deserted wasteland in the aftermath of the Latin American boom.
What are you getting at?
That power is boring, meaningless. Nothing holds on to power forever. And the one true connection we have to life is poetry.
Put my drink down.
See, jailer, even an outsider understands our ideas better than you. It's time to open your eyes to reality. La Sociedad is the only way for us to feel truly alive in here, beneath the gaze of those prying, ever-vigilant eyes.
Idealist, last warning. Stop this now.
Oh, she pissed.
Fine, fine. All right, compañeros. Sadly, the salon must come to an end, as our jailer insists.
Crowd murmurs and grumbles as they begin to disperse.
Dear friends, I do not mean to abuse the power of suspense. I sincerely invite you to come with me to the heart of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas. Perhaps you'll find the person you look for there.
I don't like how he points. It freaks me out. The movement of the character freaks me out, but his design itself I do really like. That strikes a gesture somehow equally comedic and solemn.
We'd love to. Only if that's okay with you, Miss Jailer.
I suppose that's all right. You're already
Thank
here.
you for connecting.
We can call it part of your tour, but please, ladies, take none of their rambling seriously.
Thank you, jailer. Please, follow me.
What a gentleman. What a gentleman. I like the idealist. Even though he creeps me out sometimes. Full of new encounters. Okay. 9. Jesus. What? The road ahead is unknown. Choose the right direction. The path will reveal itself. I don't know the direction.
Wait, this isn't the way to the gallery.
It isn't the usual way. It's a shortcut. We call it the reptilian complex and primal hunger route. Much faster than the limbic system and postmodern anxiety route, let me tell you.
But this passageway has long been abandoned, and entry is prohibited. It's extremely dangerous to...
Relax, jailer. No one, not even you, knows this prison better than I.
But, Timekeeper, I think we've just gone in a circle.
Oh. I'm going that way. Yay! I guessed right. Oh. I'm just going to keep going that way. I don't know.
What should I
I
say?
don't know. Okay, I was not correct. Okay.
Come on, this is the where's the party
See what was the? Of course it was the last one. Of course it's the last one.
Oh, nice practicing. So that's
Of course it was the last one. Why wasn't it the last one? That means this next one's gotta be that, right?
Become a vessel on the stage.
Alright. Yay! Fucking hell.
Just like the prophecies of the word,
Pretty lady.
the scales have already been tipped in my direction.
Pretty lady. Juva's such a pretty lady, okay? What's that? I'm getting very warm right now. So... Oh, I am getting very, very warm. It is quite warm in the UK at the moment, unfortunately. 30 minutes past midnight. I think we'll do part 6. And then we'll stop there. Yeah. Let's Into the Darkness. We'll stop there for tonight. I read an article once that you Chileans don't like Baroque literature. Something about being too noisy. You sure are quite a bunch. Is that so? And you Argentinians just love it, right? If you're any metric to go by, I'd say you're all loud and obnoxious. You. Just because the idealist isn't here, you think you can turn the salon into a debate hall? You started it. Enough. Stop squabbling and post your work so we can read it. If you ask me, you're simply more interested in rhythm than form. Spanish is a richer language, one that is inherently expressive, ever-changing and artistic, much like the Baroque literature. I don't know words, I'm sorry guys. Typical quiet man's words doused the argument like a cold splash of water, setting the group into a rare moment of calm. All jokes aside, I do miss them. Ever since those mad memories that left La Sociedad, we've had far fewer breakthroughs in stream of consciousness writing. I, for one, would gladly discuss the aesthetic value of stream of consciousness composition. As this new topic surfaces, the inmates' voices begin to rise once again. It was a most unusual literature salon, full of emotionally charged statements and biased opinions. But I didn't mind it. In fact, my feelings were quite the opposite. The inmates give me an incredible feeling. Not one of them saw themselves as prisoners stripped of their freedom. A group of literature enthusiasts coming together in the abandoned prison and collaborating to build an ideal nation. It felt as though it was the result of some kind of pact, but in reality it was clearly a government-run prison. Everyone, quiet down. I have something to announce. An unfamiliar voice cuts off the clacking typewriter in Doris's mind. A woman walks out from the far end of the darkness and steps into the center of the salon, stopping before the whiteboard and podium.
Mr. Idealist entrusted me with hosting the literature salon.
He left a letter under a stone in the corner, saying that he had a personal matter to attend to. Octavia. For this session, I will now announce our next research topic.
Fiction's duality in reflecting reality and the self.
Heavy gasps, turned heads, an uproar spreads through the audience. Clearly, this wasn't the topic they were expecting. She raises a letter in her hand in a gesture for silence.
Like-minded fellows, aspiring writers.
Since the turn of the century, the names that once shook the literature world gradually faded into obscurity.
Literature's been shoved aside in the world of art.
People attend theaters, cinemas, and even art galleries to enjoy painting and sculptures, but few can finish a book. That is very, very true. Few people... There are people, of course, who will enjoy reading books. There always will be. However, there is a large amount of people now who do not enjoy the pleasure of reading a book. I myself was one of these people. I had a huge reading boom in high school. I read a lot in high school. Not so much nowadays. I do have my bookshelves, of course, with my favorites. But yeah.
What is left for us to do?
When families are torn apart and our nations are ravaged by tyranny,
let stories be our weapon.
They should be the
sword that cuts through the bloody truth. The beacon that lights our way forward.
See, I don't know if the VA is working or not. I don't know. The audience falls into silence. You could try writing a Latin American War and Peace. We could continue with our original silent topic. The two aren't mutually exclusive. I've spent the whole month preparing for the topic the idealist previously proposed. If you insist on changing the subject, then I'm afraid I'll have to take my leave. Miss Octavia, forgive me for my interrupting. This isn't the topic we agreed on. Everything you've said, we just can't do that. We haven't even figured out things for ourselves yet. Octavia, it's an interesting topic, it is. Perhaps we can talk about it another time. Besides, don't forget the reason you're in here in the first place. Preaching that the novel's a weapon. Yeah, if it weren't for your rich daddy, you'd be on the gallows, not standing there preaching to us.
Hey!
Another prisoner stands, his voice clear. You've completely missed Miss Octavia's point. A great writer should be like an obsessive gravedigger, digging up the rotting flesh of social realism from the grave of our time. Only this vast crucible is worthy to be the host of our literature. At that time, Mr. Gracia looks visibly resident as Mr. Julio issued stern reminders. Miss Roberta attempted to mediate. More and more members joined the debate, and voices both for and against Miss Octavia's proposal emerged. It didn't take long for La Sociedad to split into two camps. That was when I realized I needed to do something to get this derailed literature salon back on the tracks.
I'm a writer, and I mostly write under the name Erd.
What is this? What? I'm so confused. I'm so confused with the VA. What the hell's happening with the voice acting here? I don't understand. I'm actually wondering. I don't look this up there because I can't remember what this setting called.
Erd?
Name sounds familiar.
Have you written for Atu? Are you the Erd in Atu?
Wow, I never imagined we'd be welcoming such an honored guest today. I thoroughly enjoyed your piece titled The Tin Soldiers of Se Paulo.
It's an important part of my visit to hear all the ideas and opinions, if you'll pardon my intrusion.
Then tell me, Miss Erd, what are your thoughts on today's silent topic? A difficult question, one involving preference, creative stance, and a political alignment. Scale that is never easily balanced. However, the answer has never been the most important part of such questions.
In these restless times, literature has been overlooked, forgotten, pushed to the edges of the world, much like Ushuaia.
Some fall into deep thought, others nod in agreement, and a few look puzzled. The audience is largely unaware that the topic has already shifted. To most, this prison at the end of the world is a distant, dark, cold place, perhaps even a place of hopelessness. When the prisoner is first sent here, you can't help but imagine that the first thing they feel is a stagnant pool of water and a calm, quiet despair. She seizes this chance to guide the literary salon back from the muddy trenches of ideology. She recalls the days of typing while looking out over the river, boats and palm trees. Words are honest, they have no capacity to lie. I came here to gather material for my next book, planning to record everything I experienced in this place, faithfully. And what kind of work are you planning to write? A non-fiction piece, I presume, about Comala Prison? Its theme is fate. I just found out that this is a main story. Or I'm being told by multiple people that this is main story. So this is an event story. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna continue forward. I have to catch up on this shite. Part 6, Shadows of the Living. Oh, for God's sake.
La investigadora se despierta en su cueva en la duna,
I'm not gonna
que le
fucking
parecía
I'm
tan
sorry.
vacía como una tumba. Era poco antes del amanecer. Montones de cintas habían ocupado su espacio vital, apilándose una y otra vez. Cada uno de estos carretes giratorios hablaba de historias sobre esa cabaña con techo azul. Oyó la voz del asesinado conductor de burros detrás de ella. Oigo a todos ellos, las risas y las voces de generaciones pasadas, como hojas secas atrapadas en las grietas de viejas paredes, crujiendo solo cuando el viento sopla otra vez. No pondría un pie en esa casa si fuera tú. El mendigo al lado de la puerta también habló. Duermo en el porche cada noche. Cada mañana una luz tenue brilla a través de la ventana, pero nadie sale nunca por esa puerta, y nadie ha entrado nunca. Luego la voz del empleado del banco. Es la historia del alter ego. Esa casa debe haber estado llena de deudas que nadie reclamaría. La anciana enferma, luchando en su cama, susurró. La casa recuerda esos días, cuando la gente desaparecía en la oscuridad de la noche y los niños eran robados por las tormentas. La investigadora de paracausalidad había oído suficiente y volvió a dormirse. Solo quedaba el traqueteo del dado de Babilonia, resonando en su cueva vacía.
Oh, Gallery of Bewilderment. In a deteriorating activity hall, thousands of floating slips of paper form a blurred, colossal face. It is hard to imagine how the prisoners managed to transform this place into what it is now.
I've always wanted to use the element of fantasy to better establish our theme. And I was right.
Ah, this is Garcia.
Now the stage is captivating, the timing is perfect, and the audience is ideally placed. Only one imperfect element remains in the scene. The creator, who hasn't stepped away from his creation. No. There's another thing.
Garcia, the creator of the exhibition, stands beneath his work, deep in thought, agonizing over every minute imperfection. His fellow poets whisper to one another.
Can you even tell any difference between today's setup and yesterday's?
Seriously, Roberta? That's a rude question.
You look like Digger.
Well, what's the difference then?
I can't see one either, but you should never judge art by how much it changes in a day. It's a creative process. We might be standing at the edge of the world, but art has no boundaries. We have to show him our support.
Easy for you to say. He's been tinkering and tweaking for over 3 months. Even if the idealist himself entrusted him with this exhibition, he can still be wrong sometimes. This gallery is turning into a dump.
Estoy viendo fantasmas, todos con las mismas caras, Garcia. Demasiados. Es fácil perderse en ellos.
Having navigated through the labyrinth, the idealist, the leader of La Sociedad, arrives at the exhibit's entrance, accompanied by several new faces and the jailer.
Idealist, you're back. Are these new recruits for La Sociedad? You must have had a very successful day.
It is good to see you, Garcia. How has your vision progressed today?
First a salon, and now an art gallery. Is this really a
Prison? Sorry. Her shock is evident on her face, but her words are ignored as Garcia begins to vent his frustrations.
As you can see, I've strived to push the element of fantasy in my work so that it might reach perfection. But why doesn't it look like what I imagine? It's like I'm trying to work on a shadow. Some shapeless thing that morphs and shifts by the hour. Idealist, am I losing it again? I took my medicine as instructed.
It was never the pills that blinded you, my dear Garcia. You mustn't let tedious routine stifle what's truly alive. Remember, like those old poems, your exhibition must have a timeless rhythm that's never lost to the changing of minds.
Garcia holds out his hands as if grasping something fleeting, but fails to hold on to it.
Sorry, maybe I'm just not getting it.
Loca, there's your answer. Though the sun rises the same way every day, the multitudes of shadows it casts are ever changing. Isn't that the only constant in life? Change. We foolishly pursue stability and constancy, but our very world denies it. Take a step back. Take several, and see the truth for yourself, lest you too become lost among the shifting shadows.
I get it now. It's the changing light that makes the exhibit seem different from what I expected. I shouldn't waste my time on freezing things in one perfect moment. Instead, I need to embrace change as it comes. I don't know how to thank you. I won't let you down. I must complete this exhibition. Complete my Alter ego.
The choice of word widens the writer's eyes.
Did you say alter ego? And he called you Garcia. Is that your name? Garcia, where did you learn about this alter ego? Do you happen to write under the name...
The curator has already returned to his work, uninterested or oblivious to his visitors.
Please, Recoleta, give our artist some space. Can't you see? He's already returned to his own time and space. He can't hear a thing you say.
He's right. Garcia is deep in his own head now. He won't hear a thing until he's done with whatever he has to do. Even if the floor were to collapse out under us, I think he will be left standing in the air without even noticing.
Pardon me then.
She takes a step back out of respect.
All right, my dear guests, please forgive my late introduction. Welcome to the Gallery of Bewilderment.
His words are twitching.
Thank you for inviting me here, Mr. Idealist.
The Foundation's investigators have been carefully observing each prisoner's movements since they arrived, but unfortunately there is no sign of Miss Doris.
I imagine you're curious about what we do here, in the heart of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas. We're putting together a magazine, a collection of poems from Kamala, our very own Casa de las Americas.
Casa de las Americas?
The idealist nods with a smile.
Exactly. Named after its great predecessor. You're a fine mind indeed. At this very moment, all our compañeros are working on it. Garcia's exhibition, Alter Ego, is centered around the birth of this magazine. And here, you can see the signatures from all the poets involved, along with a few words they've written for it. Reading it is like looking into the soul of our society.
All these signatures.
Sonetto steps forward to examine the perplexing artwork. The dim lighting, the enormous face appears to be looming watchfully over the entire room. Floating slip of paper catches her attention.
Timekeeper, here. It's Dr. Doris' pseudonym, Erd.
Then she was here.
Sonetto pockets the slip of paper dutifully.
Precisely. She used to be one of us, and still is, if I may correct myself. You can ask around here. Maybe some of our members know where she went. Don't we all miss the familiar faces of old friends? I'm sure they'll do everything they can to help you find yours.
As he finishes speaking, several enthusiastic prisoners come forward to greet the idealist.
Mr. Idealist, I finished my short story. It's called Weightlessness. It drifts around the subject like a ship floating in space. The readers can start anywhere in the story, or read it in any order they like.
And please take a look at my piece off limits. Every word that has been forbidden is either erased or replaced with symbols. It's a one-of-a-kind jarring experience.
And I finished a new paragraph. Just wrote it today.
Prisoner wrapped in several meters of manuscript paper, like a stranger saw a mummy, squeezes into the crowd.
Oh, new faces. Welcome.
Without any warning, he calmly tears the manuscript to shreds. The fluttering fragments fall like trailing sparks from a fireworks show. The abrupt welcome ceremony leaves the newcomer stunned, and natives share knowing smiles.
Idealist, did he just...
This is the writer for the prologue of our magazine.
The leader of La Sociedad, either misunderstanding or evading a question, responds with enthusiasm.
The prologue consists of a 2,000-line poem and an introduction that is written in 86 languages to avoid misinterpretation. It represents every second we spend here. Naturally, the arrival of new members disrupts its structure, and so we must begin again from scratch.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
So
I'm
he
so
just
sorry.
tore it all up like that because he thought we were joining? With all due respect, isn't this a little excessive? Heaven knows I'm not one to judge. I've torn up plenty of writing for my novel.
Please, pay it no mind. It may not be an easy task, but he's doing his part. Destruction is hard, but more necessary than you think. Without it, we'd all be stuck in a still and stagnant pond, with all the smells that entail.
This all sounds very complicated. When will your magazine be finished then? Forgive me. But I'm not sure what a floating sheet, a jarring reading experience, and all this constant rewriting are meant to express.
The jailer, having remained silent, takes a deep breath and interrupts.
As I've said, Komala is unlike any other prison.
Miss Jailer, do you mean...
This place also serves as a research center. And the prisoners here, for all they claim, are not just poets. They are arcanist criminals, and each one of them has been diagnosed as mentally ill.
The leader of La Sociedad remains composed, like an island in a rough sea, leaving the onlookers to question whether he is entirely mad or the sanest of them all.
You're quite right, jailer. But let's not forget that mental illness is merely a deviation from the norm. And who decides the norm? You, the physician, or the ones outside these walls? We've been exiled here by the standards of our time, deprived of our roles in the outside world. So please, as we agreed before, I ask you not to interfere with the affairs of La Sociedad.
These people are visitors, not your new recruits.
But should we not hear their thoughts first?
Fair enough. The idealist turns towards the visitors with an urgent plea.
My friends, no one escapes the eye of power. We must resist. Stand with us. Pick up your pen and take poetry as your shield before it is too late.
Idealist, I admire your fight, but I came here with a different goal.
The leader of La Sociedad, caught in his fervor, ignores her words and carries on.
We're the last true owners of an old legend. Words now only remembered as myth. We must stay on the path of literature until I find that transcendental solution. To invent an idiom that is generic, all-encompassing, yet precise. My poem will be written in this language, leaving no room for doubt or misinterpretation.
But interpretation is the funnest part of poems, though. And this is coming from someone who doesn't read poems often, at all. The only poem book I have is from my GCSE literature. And most of the poems in that I don't really care for. But the fun part is leaving no room for doubt or misinterpretation. That's fine and all, but interpretation is like the best part of it. That's like the most interesting part. Like, this could be meant in so many different ways that even the author didn't even think of. Like, it's the first part, interpreting something in different ways.
How blessed is a man with infallible memory. He holds the finer details of each object within him, more vivid than anyone else. In the end, he'll have all the answers, if time allows him.
A dreamlike expression crosses his face. It briefly seems as if he has become an entirely different person, but his vision is soon interrupted.
Sweet tongue, sister, howls, hermaphrodite, tango. They put the whole city in the nut house.
Timekeeper, look over there.
Isn't that the prologue writer?
There's something off about him. Please, Timekeeper, stay away from him.
What's happening?
Idealist, Pablo's having another episode.
Oh no.
Multiples of us. You make reality sick.
Flash of arcane energy flares up, and the jailer steps into the crowd reactively.
I could use your help, ladies.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Fair enough, fair enough. We created the problem, we'll fix it. Hello? Okay. I think Kyla here. Kyla isn't my strongest, but I do love Kyla.
I just finished warming up.
Oh, he's gone
La
beast mode.
acumulación de laberintos. Suéltalo todo una vez más.
Okay.
Más allá del concepto mundano del tiempo.
What should I sing? So untamed, so free.
Hold your breath.
Huh, a truly villainous moment.
Take my hand to be yours alone.
All in the palm of my hand.
Not a fan of my work, I take it? En todos los momentos. Más allá del
First, maintain balance.
idealismo, vuelos de fantasía. Do I have to do this?
Time to stand on 10 toes.
Not a fan of my work, I take it?
I must finish
This
this.
isn't over yet.
En todo
Hold your breath.
el camino a Tlón.
Everybody prepared?
Huh, a truly villainous moment.
Take a leap.
En la acumulación de laberintos, suéltalo todo una vez más.
And now, hold.
What should I sing? So that's your idea.
Rise, fall, and flourish.
Good. Elegant as always.
I gave it my all. I have no regrets.
As you should. You shouldn't regret anything, darling. The frenzied prisoner is subdued. He lies convulsing in the center of the exhibit hall.
Poor soul. I'll bring him to bed.
Nah, poor dude.
Well done, ladies. Aren't you full of surprises? What was all that?
It seems he had a mental breakdown and lost control of his arcane skill. It appears that every line he recited carried unbridled power. Usually, only specific lines can channel arcane energy. You can't just force the power into words or craft a poem to serve your purpose. Pablo must have a rare gift for identifying empowered lines. When he recited them all aloud, they overwhelmed him.
That's right. He's a genius who writes the ties of emotion, just like Arthur Rimbaud.
Bunga stray dogs.
We always keep a close eye on him to make sure he doesn't recite anything while reading or writing.
Roberta trades glances towards between the tense jailer and her visitors.
But sometimes things slip through.
You must understand how difficult it is for a poet to never taste the words on his own lips.
So then, this isn't the first time, and you're all fully aware of it. Do I understand you right? Did you just admit that you've been hiding an inmate with a dangerous condition from us? According to the safety regulations for the Panopticon of Kamala, he must be sent to the physician for immediate treatment.
The jailer's command causes a dramatic shift in the room.
No, wait. We can explain. He's doing fine. We know how to help him. This was just an accident. We got distracted by the new members.
I think we're gonna need to meet this physician guy.
We won't be handing him over to the physician. No true writer would allow their mind, the most sacred palace of their thoughts, to be opened up to that cold-hearted, ignorant butcher. Even one who believes their inspiration flows from a source beyond the mere substance of a brain would refuse it.
Jailer furrows her brows and pulls out her weapon. The air tightens into an invisible thread. Yeah, we're gonna need to meet this physician guy, I believe. Because something's not right here. There we go. The weaving of shadows. We're gonna stop here for today, guys. Yay. I'm tired and it's very, very warm. It's gone 1 a.m. right now, so I'm gonna go and sleep. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow I can record another part of this. We'll get to part 6 or something. And I'll keep trying to get Elf. I'm gonna keep getting my guy here. I want him so bad. Anyways, bye-bye.